This is my couch, and this is an acoustic guitar. And believe it or not, this is where I get most of my metal songwriting done. Although if I'm being honest, it looks a little bit more like this because of how ergonomic it is. But the truth is that you have to get away from your DAW sometimes to write your best songs, because with all of the toys and all of the plugins and great tones that are right there at your fingertips, it is so easy to lose the plot. So today we're gonna write a piece of a song right here, campfire style, with just some chords and some lyrics and melodies, and then we're gonna take it to the studio and turn it into a full-on metal banger. So I have this like little snippet of an idea for a song, just lyrics that I wrote once, about how I have never really been directly touched by death. I have been very lucky in that I've never had anybody really close to me die. And it's really weird feeling like at some point it's gonna happen to me. So I wrote this line, I'm being stalked by the Reaper. So now I'm gonna try and find some chords and melody for it. I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Every day a little older, feel him getting closer, never really ready for the end. And then for the chorus, I always really loved this Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett book called Good Omens. They made it into a TV series, but Death has this line, he says, I am creation's shadow. And I think that's perfect for this song. Like, I'm feeling this way about Death, and then Death responds in the chorus. And he says, I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, only a monster in your mind. I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, a never-ending lullaby. By the way, this is the AC2 that Kiesel loaned me to make this video. This is just one of 2 Kiesels that we're gonna be using today. Huge thanks to Kiesel for sponsoring this video. So that gives us the DNA of a song. We've got a verse and a chorus. We have chords, melodies, and lyrics. So now we're gonna take what we've got and turn it into a full-on metal banger. So let's head over to the studio. So now I'm gonna record what I wrote, acoustic guitar and vocals. I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Every day a little older, feel him getting closer, never really ready for the end. I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, only a monster in your mind. This is just a guide track for right now. I'm just gonna write in each of the chords where they sit. A minor, F minor. I'm gonna call this E7. A minor, D, add 9, E minor. Fancy pants chord alert. E7, flat 9, sharp 11. I'm actually going to attempt to make 2 different versions of the song, one with clean melodic vocals and one with harsh vocals where I have to work in the melody some other way. But both versions will have the same chords, melody, and lyrics. I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Every day a little older, feel him getting closer. This is a basic representation of what the chords look like as MIDI. These are kind of clunky voicings and inversions, but what's great about MIDI is that I can just copy paste it into a new track. Let's say some strings, and boom. I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Let's start with like power metal, because that's pretty straightforward. The first thing we need is drums. I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Every day a little older. It's amazing what drums alone will do. You've been very patient, and now it is time for riffs. Today's riffs will be provided by this amazing new Kiesel Kyber guitar. I've been playing this guitar for a few weeks and I have been absolutely loving it. I'm tuned down a whole step on this one, so A, D, G, C, F, A, D. If you're interested in acquiring your very own Kiesel Kyber, there's a link in the description to the builder where you can spec out your own. So we already know what the chords are going to be. Now we just have to turn them into riffs.
but we want to fill this out with more parts. And the way that we're going to do that is by using the chord tones of each of these chords. For example, we've got E minor, right? We could play those notes up here or here, basically in any inversion, and then a B minor. A minor. You could strum them or pick them. So here I've taken all of the chords and I've laid them out as pretty basic triads for the most part. But once you've got a basic handle on what the notes are in the chords, you can do anything with these. Anything. If I just leave it as an organ, it sounds like Sonata Arctica. Right, it kind of sounds like Don't Say a Word. We use this trancy pattern from Omnisphere. That's actually kind of badass. Here it is with a synth lead arpeggiator. Kind of sick. But what I'm gonna do right now is work out a little lead guitar part that goes along with the chorus. And I'm gonna base it on these chord tones. We're starting with an A minor in the chorus. Those are the notes. A, C, and E. I don't have to play all of them and I don't have to just use those 3 notes, but this is a really good starting point. I know that all of those are going to work. All I did was take the A minor arpeggio and I walked up to the second note. Root, second, third, fifth. Doesn't really have any phrasing to it. That's a bit cooler. Next chord, D add 9. Then we land on this E minor. So I'm not using 100% just the chord tones, but I'm sort of landing on them and aiming at them. Here are the notes of B minor. I actually landed on the 7th. But it sounded good. That's just a little extra flavor. Maybe now for this F chord, we'll just kind of arpeggiate it a little bit. And then we'll segue nicely back into this A minor. Like that. For the most part, all of the like fancy jazz shit that you see sort of tacked on at the end of these chord names is just a bunch of extensions that are dropped on top of a ye olde triad. In this case, it's just an E major, okay? So I can just continue this same pattern and just play E major if I want. And then the ending we've already got. It's that same thing that I biffed on the acoustic in the original version. And then this is all more or less the same with the exception of the ending. So for the moment, I am going to copy paste. Same exact chord type, but now we're on a B instead of E. And then same thing, I could just play B major here. Or I could add the fancy notes. It's a bit spicier. Really depends on your level of spice that you're looking for. You don't want to make it too spicy for yourself. That for me is a comfortable spice level. That's a pretty good counter melody lead line. It's a little obnoxious, but what are you, my dad? Ironically, I'm not actually going to finish either version of this song in this video today, but if you want to start finishing every song that you write, then you need Song Finisher. If you're frustrated by having tons of unfinished song ideas sitting on your hard drive, then this is the course that you've been waiting for. Song Finisher is going to show you how to turn your riff pile into complete songs with the exact proven methods that I've developed over 30 years of writing thousands of songs. I'll show you how the wrong mindset is holding you back and how to fix it, and you'll watch me turn an unfinished idea into a complete banger with all the bells and whistles step by step, which you can get at the link in the description for a discount for a short time for the launch. So now I'm gonna add just some power chords to fill it all out and see how it sounds all together. Now I wanna add something to fill out the chorus a little bit more, make it a little more epic and bigger sounding and more saturated. I've pulled up these strings. It's just Spitfire Abbey Road 1. It like sounds okay, right? But there's a number of things about this that isn't really gonna work, okay? Like if we listen to it in the mix, even if it's pretty loud. Kind of just adds mud. It's in the wrong octave to start. That's just one problem. That's shrill and terrible sounding. If we crank it up another octave. I can feel it in my teeth. Number 2, it's just boring. And number 3, we don't need every instrument to play all the notes from every chord. But there is a really easy way to make very simple, effective lines out of chords like this in MIDI. There's 3 notes in every one of these chords except for these 2 big fancy pants chords. So we can kind of think of it like there are 3 independent little lines that are happening here, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna go through and I'm gonna pull out the root from all of these, okay? Like this is an A minor. We've already got so much A happening in all of the other instruments, right? The bass is playing it, the guitar is playing it. We don't need it. Yeet it. Just do that for all of them. Fucking yeeted the wrong note out of this one. So what we're left with is 2 notes per chord. Then we want to give it better voice leading, which just means that there's smoother distances between the notes of each line. Everything's all over the place. So we're gonna make them a bit closer. For example, bump that one up an octave. The whole thing is a little bit too high, I think. So what I'm actually gonna do is flip the 2 lines. So I'm gonna take the top and take that down an octave, which gives us this. Now, obviously, because the lead guitar is so busy against the vocal, we can't really go nuts with these other instruments. But let's say we don't want to use this lead guitar, and instead we want the strings to go a little nuts. We're gonna make a little pattern based on these 2 notes. Keep it simple. Just literally go back and forth between the 2 notes. We're gonna change it to a spiccato sound. Obviously, this is just a start. You should always use your ear. You should use your ear 100% of the time. I don't say that because I feel like it goes without saying. If something doesn't sound good, you shouldn't do it. Right now, this sounds okay to me, but if I spent a little time on it, I could make it sound great. But that is worlds better than what we started with, which was just boring block chords. We could also put this same line on a different instrument if we wanted. Let's try just dropping it on this synth lead sound we had. Juiced up a little. Versus lead guitar. They're obviously completely different parts. I wrote them totally differently, but the essence of the idea is the same. sort of dances around the melody, adds a little bit more harmonic information, and doesn't, hopefully, step all over the main focus, which is the lead vocal. Before I dive into making the next version, which is going to be like melodic death metal, I want to talk about something that I have created to help people finish their songs, especially guitarists with tons of riffs. It's a brand new course that I have spent most of the last year developing called Song Finisher, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the definitive solution to your hard drive full of unfinished riffs. As I've demonstrated in this video, there are so many different ways to take any one song idea, and it can be really overwhelming and make it hard to decide where to go next. That indecision is only one of many problems that keep musicians from finishing their own songs even though they know that they can, but it's one of many that I show you how to defeat in Song Finisher. So hit the link in the description to get it for yourself. It's gonna be on sale for a short time for the launch. Now let's say, hypothetically, you wanna have some harsh vocals without any melody in the vocal part, but you don't wanna lose the melody that you've written. So how do we do that? I'll show you. So I'm gonna do just the chorus. There's two ways to do it. You could just play like power chords in the rhythm guitar and then lead plays the melody and then you scream. Or you can kind of bake the melody into the riffs like this. That kind of shit. So here's the whole chorus riff that I came up with, along with the original vocal.
I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, only a monster in your mind.
So we didn't catch every single note of the melody, but we can fill a little bit of that in, like right here. I am never far behind. I feel like that's kind of contextually important.
I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, only a monster in your mind, a never-ending lullaby. I am creation's shadow.
So here's the whole melodic death metal version of the chorus. I think we managed to capture the melody and the chords pretty well together with no melodic vocals.
I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, only a monster in your mind. I am creation's shadow, and I am never far behind, a never-ending lullaby.
We have In Flames at home. So as you can see, tons and tons of different ways to fill out any idea that you've got. Remember what we started with, right?
I'm being stalked by the Reaper. I can feel his breath on the back of my neck. Every day a little older, feel him getting closer, never really ready for the end.
If you want to start finishing every song that you write, then you need my Song Finisher course, which you can get at the link in the description for a discount for a short time for the launch. Huge thanks to Kiesel for this absolute beast of a guitar and for the loan of the AC2. They have been massive supporters of the channels for many years and I appreciate them a lot. Stay squishy, and I'll see you real soon.